Thank you very much, Emmett, Bill, for inviting us back. We are appreciative and very honored to be here today. So if I could have the first slide here. There we go. We are a Seattle-based company looking at targeting dry age-related macular degeneration with a technology called photobiomodulation. It's a mitochondrial target that can improve mitochondrial dysfunction in these age-degenerative type diseases. So this is the Valeda light delivery system. It's the first approved treatment in Europe with a CE mark for dry age-related macular degeneration using photobiomodulation. It's a multiple beam wavelength instrument that can deliver a treatment in a little over 4 minutes per eye, no pupil dilation, and we can treat both eyes sequentially in under 10 minutes. The company highlights this last year is that we have used this in 3 clinical trials. Our 3rd clinical trial, the LIGHTSITE 1, I'm going to show some data on. We did obtain a CE mark approval for the Valeda system. We continue to improve our IP position with now 10 patents that cover photobiomodulation for ocular damage and disease, a very broad platform and specific ones on our device to treat dry age-related macular degeneration. We like this technology as a platform for other degenerative eye disease, not only for dry AMD, but things like diabetic macular edema, dry eye, glaucoma, and wound healing. So we were very honored in the first quarter of this year as well to win a silver award for the Medical Design Excellence Awards in New York City by our colleagues in the engineering. We put a lot of time and effort into this instrument as a delivery system for a photoceutical type approach. This is a mock treatment of the instrument in which we can target with a 30 millimeter beam, multiple wavelengths that in the course of over 4 minutes we stimulate the retinal tissue. We do this multiple times over the course of 3 to 4 weeks. It's 9 sessions. And what that does is it improves mitochondrial function, and we'll show you some of the results. We did publish the LIGHTSITE 1. It's now available on EPUB and Retina this year and coming out in the next month's journal. We're also very happy to announce that the NIH, the National Eye Institute, has granted us a $2.5 million grant to help support the LIGHTSITE 3 study, which is our U.S. pivotal study. In Europe, earlier this year, we began a post-marketing multi-center trial. It's been enrolling and doing very nicely, and we anticipate readouts at the end of 2020. The U.S. study, about a week ago, we announced our first patients enrolled in our FDA-approved ID multi-center study. And we have been starting to establish our distribution channel partners in Europe with Optos, Ophthalmolica, as well as in Central and South America with Omni and the Andra Corporation. And finally, we're also supporting some early commercial key opinion leaders and early adopters in Europe to look at the Valeda instrument. And the initial feedback, both from the physicians and the patients, has been very positive. In EURETINA, about a month ago, we presented a symposium on photobiomodulation, an innovative mitochondrial targeted therapy for dry AMD, and the room was packed with physicians, and the traffic throughout the week was very exciting, with a lot of doctors interested in the underlying technology. LIGHTSITE 1 study used 3 wavelengths. We've got publications on each wavelength that's chosen. These are chosen to selectively go after cellular targets. The initial study was LIGHTSITE 1, that was a randomized prospective, 1-to-1 randomized into either a sham or active with 46 eyes in an intent to treat. And what we see is that about 50% of the patients that receive the PBM treatment get anywhere from 1 line to 4 lines of improvement. That benefit lasts for about 6 months, and then we see some remission. We brought the patients back in at 6 months and treated them again and saw recovery of best-corrected visual acuity. What we further did was did a full analysis on the geographic atrophy, central Drusen volume, et cetera, and what we saw was that the intermediate patients, as you might expect, responded better. We typically see anywhere from 8 to 6 letters upon the initial and then the retreatment in those early or intermediate type of patients, and those patients typically did not have geographic atrophy in their central foveola. The flip side of that was the later stage patients that did have significant GA, as you'd expect, didn't do as well. And so we also looked at some other parameters. Central Drusen volume and the shams continued to increase, but we saw in 70% of our patients a reduction in central Drusen volume that was statistically significant at a year. And this is a picture of one of the patients, one of our best patients, so significant Drusen reduction after the 1 year of 2 sessions of PBM. So our European study has 8 centers, 3 in Germany, 2 in the UK, 1 in Spain, France, and Italy, and is enrolling well. The imaging center that's doing the imaging is Dr. Mary Monk and her group in Bern, Switzerland. In the US study that just launched, we've got 8 centers, including Duke, doing the imaging for all the 8 centers, and we've announced patients that just enrolled as of a week ago. So we're very excited about the progress we've made in 2019. We're looking forward to the readout of these 2 clinical trials. The European study should have a readout in the 4th quarter of next year if everything goes as planned, and subsequent to that, the US LIGHTSITE 3 study will complete. So thank you very much for allowing us to present.